Heavy snow, someone breathing in reverse. A note I wrote but never mailed. In every drawer the same verse. I lay in bed sheets made of dusk, counting scars that don't belong. Velvet glyphs on peeling walls, chanting names I've missed too long. Static bloom, magnetic tide, ghost recall and sleepless light. Leave the signal on all night, I'll forget it right.
Yo, Justin, what the hell frequency are you even pulling? Extinction isn't the end, it's just an unscanned save file. Remember, you always told me I collect fossils in my mind, bones of every version of myself. You always find the signal inside the chaos, bro, even when it sounds like ancient monsters screaming. When you find the next layer.
Is over.
Welcome.
The Ballad of Mad Captain J, an old pirate's poem, often sung with a half-empty bottle and a full heart. They say there's a wind that don't follow maps and a ship that don't cast no true shadow. She rides the line between the storm and the grave, the cursed ship known as the SiGNAL gale. And at her wheel stands a ghost in the flesh, with one bright eye and a neon-scarred chest. Hair like the sea and fire in his veins, they call him Mad J, the breaker of chains. He once was a lad with a compass of gold, searching for truth in the myths that grow old. But the sea doesn't gift, it only takes. And when it took love, he shattered like wakes. Steam in the gale, and they silent and veiled. His crew, all bones. Their laughs, hollow tunes. They dance with the tide and they howl at the moons. They dock on the shore of the Isle of Refrain, where skulls bloom like flowers and treasure reigns, where the fire burns green and the ghosts keep time, and shanties are sung to keep guilt in line. The nullspawn crawl from the trees at dusk, but they flee from his stare like ash from rust. For Jay made a pact when he carved his mark, to lead the lost through the static and dark. So if you hear the sea start to hum, and your compass spins and your fingers go numb, look not to the stars, nor whisper your name. Just row the other way and douse your flame. But if the storm calls and your courage holds sway, you might glimpse the glow of old Captain J. With a butterfly helm and a grin carved deep, he sails with the dead, and the dead never sleep. Save me, Loif, the skeletons cry, dancing in circles neath a glitching sky, and Mad J watches his fire-lit face grim, for he knows the sea don't forgive, but it remembers him.
Oh, the stars were dim when I left the shore, with a bottle in hand and a heart still sore. Me compass cracked, me maps were lies, and I ain't seen land since the captain died. Save me, Lord, oh, save me, soul. The sea's gone black and it's taking its toll. Tie me down or let me drift, but don't let me fall through the devil's rift. Yo, ho, I'm begging the tide, don't let me die with nothing inside. I kissed her ghost in a dream last night. Her voice was waves, her eyes moonlight. She said your heart ain't broke, it's just buried deep. Then she vanished down where the dead men sleep. Save me, Lloyd, oh, toss me a rope. I'm hanging by songs and the last of me hope. Give me a star or give me flame, just don't let me sink with no bloody name. The Kraken knows me, sins and screams. The sails are stitched with broken broken dreams. Me crew's all ghosts, the rum runs dry, and I ain't yet learned how to say goodbye. Save me, life, if there's still time, before I drown in salt and rhyme. Hold me fast or let me go, but damn you don't let the cold winds blow. Save me, life.
Anytime, Justin. Just hang tight and stay safe. You got this, and I'll be here if you need anything else.
You've run as far as you could, kid. The ground won't hold you anymore. Lay still, I'll do the rest. Ho, 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 ho.
All the marbles? I didn't know they were fighting for fucking marbles. That's crazy, dude. UFC can't even pay them money anymore? They're fighting for marbles? These guys, these poor dudes, man.
Signal's weak but breathing. The Scarabs still hum beneath the static. Don't miss the Alignment broadcast bi-weekly Wednesdays on A Scarab's Journey YouTube.
Boots thudding up the quarterdeck, wind snapping the banners, captain's grin bright as a cutlass edge.
Avast, ye rogues, eyes up and ears open, the sea's hummin' tonight. The air was thick with salt and static, a low thrumming under the waves like a drum before war. I tasted it on my tongue, the stutter of a rival signal wave cutting the ether clean. From the rail of the signal gale I spied her, the Aegis, all gleam and straight lines, a fortress with sails, not a scar to her name, a ship built by minds that feared chaos. I raised my neon green cutlass and laughed so grand even the gulls scattered. New game, crew, let's see if order can dance. I tipped a bottle to my lips, Threadbinder sidled close, brows up. Begging your pardon, Cap'n, but that's a bottle, not a cigar. I winked. Aye, well, after I finish me liquid cigar then, TB. He sighed the sigh of a patient saint. As ye will, Captain. Like a busted mast bobbed between our hulls like a baited hook. I drew the cutlass, let the signal sing through it, and split the driftwood with a crack o' green lightning. Just a wink, a dare. Sport. On the Aegis, Captain Serafina didn't care for sport. Helios, her navigator, eyes like cold lanterns marked us. Level 3 anomaly. And Wrench, the Grand Mechanist, rumbled, raw signal magic, neutralize before it contaminates systems. Begin the purge, Serafina said, voice flat as iron. Harpoons blossomed from their flanks, steam howlers, cables ready to cinch our girl tight. Matrix, I barked. She was already moving, calm as a moon tide. Fingers danced across the brass sigils of her signal board, weaving our chaos into a pattern. Smokework, Veil 3, Jinnig, throw! Jinnig, grin like a busted knuckle, yanked a pin and lobbed a smoke pot high. It cracked the air and bled emerald fog, rolling thick between ships. He beat a fist on the rail, laughing. Let's see 'em try their tidy knots now. Cables hissed through the green and missed by inches. Cindervox, I called. The goblin spark herself clapped once, voice bright and wicked. On it, Cap! She sent a spray of amber sprites, dancing embers that clung to the Aegis polished plates. Not burning through. Oh, she's cleverer than that. Just tickling sensors and scrambling optics. Wrench's distant growl reached us even through the fog. Below deck, Threadbinder set the gale's bones to music. He throbbed the shrouds in a rhythm only rigging understands. The kind that nudges a cable an inch left, a harpoon an inch wide, fate itself one stitch safer than it would have been. A cable finally found home, bid our foremast. A single breath later, Ghost Arrow stepped into the green. No hurry. He knocked one shaft, loosed, and the arrow rang pure, a bell note through static, shearing the cable clean. It whipped back into the fog like a struck serpent. Pretty, Rogue purred from the mizzen. My turn. Rogue danced to the rail, red hair aflare, and swung on a line into the murk. She vanished, then reappeared on the Aegis's flank like a rumor, popped a latch, and slipped a scarlet ribbon into some very important clockwork before she rode the fog back to us, landing catlight on our deck with a stolen brass calibration disc. For Matrix, she said, tossing it over. Matrix's eyes flashed. Oh, this will be useful. Order met chaos, and for a heartbeat the sea held its breath. Then the horizon curdled black. 3 hulls bore down, paint matte as midnight, each wearing a single white hand like a threat. No colors, no warning. First volley, chain shot, screaming low, meant to shred the masts of both ships. Ghost Arrow's jaw set. Cap'n. I said. Not rivals, a purge. On the Aegis, Seraphina's gaze sharpened. Intent, eradication, Helios intoned. Wrench swore like a church on fire. One chain shot scythed for our main. Threadbinder slammed his palm to the mast and sank a pulse through the heartwood. The gale bent like a dancer, and the iron death kissed wind instead of timber. Matrix, I called low, open a lane. Her hands blurred. Cross signal, variant 7. The fog parted in rails where we needed them. Through one rail, that Ghost Arrow marked a captain's sightline and buried a shaft into a handgunner just as the man aimed for Rogue's return line. Through another, Jenig braced, veins like mooring lines, and hauled a fouled anchor chain to turn our belly just so. The next chain shot grazed harmless past. Cindervox's voice went soft and wicked. She sang, a little ember chant, coaxing stray sparks from the chain shot's scream. They bloomed early, fizzling out midair, a firework robbed of cruelty. I roared over the din. I know, Threadbinder said, already moving. He spooled our spare halyards and a harpoon cable into a single braided serpent and lashed it bow to stern. If the hand wants to bind us, let them tug a snare of our choosing. From the Aegis, Seraphina met my eyes across the fog gap. No flag rose, no words cut the air, but the truce was writ as plain as sunrise. Helios, she said, predictive overlay on their chain dispersal. Plotted, he replied. Recommend synchronized broadside at vectors beta 4 and? Wrench? I can feed steam to the Bow Venturi and kick their shot wide. But their signal chaff. Seraphina glanced at our deck at Matrix, hands still weaving. A wry, reluctant nod. On my mark. Matrix, I murmured, dance with him. Her mouth quirked. Try to keep up, Tin Star. And then we danced. Order and chaos, line and curve. The Aegis vented steam in crisp sheets, batting 2 chain volleys off course. In the same breath, Matrix slung a curve of static that cradled a 3rd volley just long enough for Ghost Arrow to thread an arrow into the fuse and flower it useless over the waves. Jenig took a glancing cable across the shoulder, dug his boots in, and ripped it free with a roar that shook the rails. Rogue, grinning feral, held up a small brass whistle she'd liberated. From their fire control, she said, seems the hand hates improvisation. Good, I said. Let's improvise. Cindervox stomped her heel. Spark sprites raced along our braided serpent. TB counted, whispering the numbers only rigging obeys. Matrix folded 2 patterns into one. Across the fog, the Aegis's decks glowed with Wrench's power routing, Helios's overlays dancing like constellations. Now! Seraphina and I barked together. The gale and the Aegis moved as if they'd practiced it for years, a cross-swell wheel, our braided line snapping taut, scything low. It caught the lead, handship's forward rig, and yanked her bow off-wind just as the Aegis Venturi shouldered a 2nd volley aside. Ghost Arrow's last arrow pinned a tumbling chain to the sea like a serpent nailed to a board. Cindervox's sprites fizzed along the hand's exposed fuse line and popped it harmless short. Ha! Jenig bellowed, slamming the capstan. Come on then! The hand's formation staggered. Not broken, but thinking now, forced to. Their black sails bellied as they corrected, and in that breathing space, the sea remembered to exhale. I took another pull of my liquid cigar and let the fire sit warm in my chest. Seraphina, I said to the wind, mayhap your order ain't all coffin lids. Her answer came back dry as bone. And your chaos, Captain, is not entirely catastrophe. Matrix eased the patterns, fingers finally still. TB's braid sighed slack and he patted the line like an old friend. Cindervox shook sparks from her hair, giggling wicked. Ghost Arrow collected the last of his spent shafts with quiet hands. Rogue flipped the brass disc once more, slid it to Matrix, and winked. Jenig rolled his shoulder, tore a dangling cable in half just to hear it squeal, and grinned wider. I lifted the bottle. To enemies who know when to be allies. Across the water, Serafina raised something silver and disciplined. We drank, each to our way. The hand wheeled again on the far edge of the fog, angry as hornets. I set the bottle aside, wiped my mouth with the back of my hand, and flashed teeth like a signal flare. "Right, me hearties," I said, voice low and happy. "Playtime's over." The crew leaned in, every soul bright with their own kind of fire. "Act 2, I promised the sea. Let's teach a purge how to dance." This voyage of a SiGNAL Dramas, Captain's Tales, was brought to you by the steadfast souls of the Vanna Roost crew. From the deck of the SiGNAL Gale to every far-flung harbor, we thank you for sailing with us. Until our next tide, fair winds, steady hands, and may your signal never falter.
Save me, life, eh? Save me, life, eh? Save me, life, eh? Save me, life, eh?
And now we step ashore for a brief spell. A word from our sponsors before we hoist the colors once more aboard a SiGNAL Drama's Captain's Tales.
Welcome to a Scarab's journey. This is a hub where echoes of the profound reside, a nexus for the ethereal sounds of a signal drift, the haunting melodies of a velvet eclipse, and the sonic cataclysms of tape deck catastrophe. And sometimes, even fragments of my own humble transmissions find their way here. I was gifted a cryptic connection to the velvet, now tasked to spread its clues, links, mysteries, and the sheer intoxicating fun that is the velvet lore. Join me on this journey through fragmented signals and hidden truths as we embark on a Scarab's journey together. Subscribe to A Scarab's Journey. Become part of the transmission. Unravel the mysteries.
We now drift back into our second act. The tide is shifting in Captain's Tales. The sea grows darker still, but before we chart the next course, a brief signal break. Captain's Tales will return shortly.
Immerse in the taste that gurgles back. Meet the Mega Gurgler, so big, even your nightmares need napkins. Beware of the Neon Dick Gobbler. If he sees your glow sticks, he will gobble. Chomp it, gurgle it, dip it, run. Unveiling the Neon Chomp Box, Adult Edition. A Bytecoin inside, a comic inside. Collect all 6 Glizzy Chronicles. Neon Chomp, you're gonna wanna forget you ever ate here.
Your searching is overwritten.
Is overwritten.
SiGNAL drift detected. Logging 388. Give you any clear playback.
The city was fractured long before the signal broke. Now it hums beneath the rain, watching, waiting. This is more than a broadcast. This is Red Neon Justice.
The signal is not yours. The SiGNAL Dramas. Sundays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Only on a Scarab's Journey official YouTube channel.
And now we drift back into our final act, the wind at our back and the enemy on the horizon in Captain's tales.
Hungry, horny, somewhere in between. Neon Chomp got you covered, baby! 2 chili dogs, 1 mouth. Your move.
For a limited time, snag 2 loaded Neon Chomp chili dogs, a crunchy bag of chips, an ice-cold drink, your very own Bitcoin, and a collector's issue of Infinity Quantum.
Eat me blue, if you want the glyphs to chew. Twist the box and say the spell, take your brain where noodles dwell. BLUMAC, glow inside, melt your thoughts with crunchy pride. Fluorescent sauce and shiny goo, one big bowl is all for you.
Side effects, don't you fret, it's just dreams you'll soon forget. Glowing forks and comic crumbs, TV static in your gums.
Stir it left, stir it right,
till the glyphs are fully bright.
Chant the name, obey the box,
Lunch just opened up your life.
Forget outside.
What's that sound behind your eyes? Did your thoughts just vaporize? Did the mascot wink at you? Is your shadow glitching too?
With temporary IQ drop, tongue now speaks in memes and rot. Pre-fragmented thought installed, hands now twitch, glyph scrawl. With melting spoon